Hey guys, today I wanted to make something a bit different. Something a little more personal than my usual videos. I was with my ex for 12 years, starting from when I was 25 to when I was 37. Now, in that time, I wasn't entirely monogamous. We had an open relationship for periods of time in there, and I've talked about those experiences on and off in my videos in the past. So I haven't been completely out of the market for all that time. After taking some time after the relationship ended to recover, I've stepped back into the dating market in a very different place to when I left it last. Here's what's different. First of all, I'm 38 now instead of 26. I'm open to casual sex, but I'm ultimately looking for a long-term partner and a family, so my focus now is very different. When I met my ex, we both originally agreed neither of us wanted a partner. But now, while I can still easily get casual sex if I want it, that's not what I'm looking for, so as a general rule, I'm avoiding the distraction. Thirdly, I live in the Gold Coast now, which is a holiday destination that is more image conscious. It has a weird mix of Instagram narcissists, spiritual types, and narcissistic spiritualists. Without a doubt, it is far less metropolitan than Sydney was. Because of the pandemic, and the fact that I may be at risk, and my mum who lives a couple of kilometers away from me is definitely at risk, I've been avoiding going to bars and clubs to meet women. So for now, I've only been focusing on online dating. So what I want to do is point out all the things that are feeling drastically different, pointing out the good and the bad, and hopefully some of you watching will be able to relate to my experiences. Before I get started, I want to say that this isn't a woman-bashing video. I have no doubt that whatever negative things I witness in women are fairly mirrored by things men in this age bracket do as well. But I'm not dating men, so I can't say much on this topic. Also, to any women I've dated who may be watching this video, this isn't necessarily about you specifically. I'm discussing trends rather than labeling every woman I've dated as suffering from exactly the same problems. I want to start with a positive observation, and that's that it's nice to be communicating with more emotionally switched on women who play fewer games than their younger counterparts. It's also nice to meet more women with their lives together. They have a career and an education and often do activities in their lives that are interesting to me, some of which I want to try. They're much clearer with what they want and what they do and don't like. And I really love smart women who are well educated, so this has been a huge bonus for me. Secondly, I'm more confident in myself in a deeper and more calm and mature way than I was in my 20s. I think part of it is that my bullshit tolerance is just super low. I don't think women mistake me for a second for a guy that will put up with bad behavior. As a result, while not all my experiences are positive, I never find myself feeling frustrated or angry because nobody can push my personal boundaries. It feels nice to be more solid and sure of myself than I used to be. Dating feels safe in a way I don't know it did in my 20s, even though I did a lot of dating back then too. So this next one is a big struggle for me. I've always understood the importance of having a healthy relationship with my inner child. I spend plenty of my adult life being responsible. I have a successful company, actually, more than one. I am a good dog parent. I communicate well with friends and family. But I also reserve time to giggle like a little kid. There's time to be irresponsible when it won't harm other people, and generally time to indulge my inner child, and remember not to always be so serious. You only need to watch me doing the dinner time dance with my puppy while her food is in the microwave, and you'll see no hint of adult present. I think this keeps me feeling young. Certainly younger than my years. Many of the women I've been meeting have been over 30 because my thinking had been that I want someone closer to my age for long-term relationship stability. However, too many of the women I've been meeting over 30 seem to have had their youthfulness beaten out of them by whatever life has thrown at them. Obviously, this isn't all women, but it's a much larger percentage than I'd expected. This makes many of the women feel old to me, even when they look great, and surprisingly, even if they are actually younger than I am. This is something I also hear from many of my male clients as well, and there's something that I personally find a bit depressing about it. Like, if we can't all be children from time to time, where's the joy in life? The good news is that there are women out there who manage to hold on to their inner little girl while still growing into wiser, more mature women overall. But they feel like the exceptions rather than the rules. By the way, if you're liking this video so far, I'd love it if you could support me by giving me a like and subscribing to my channel. This fourth point probably shouldn't come as a surprise. Many of the women I've met have brought a lot of unresolved baggage to the table. Trust issues due to exes were a big one, but also a vague sense of anger or frustration at men in general, which makes me feel like many women I've been meeting aren't great at taking responsibility for their lives and their recoveries. Now, responsibility meaning not that it's their fault, men treated them badly in the past, but rather that after something bad happens, it's their responsibility to own what role they may have played themselves and then take time to recover emotionally. I wouldn't be surprised if many men bring the same baggage to the table, but regardless, it isn't the nicest thing to sense in a woman's background. I was mulling over this point for a while, and I know there will be many of you watching who will instantly say, well, yeah, most women in the 30s have baggage, that's why you shouldn't date younger women. And I'm not sure that it's so simple. Rather than saying it's a problem with age, I actually think that all those same women were hidden landmines already in their 20s, but without the bad experiences, they weren't so easy to spot. I haven't dated a person yet without bad stuff happening in their past. We all have it, myself included. But some people are able to process the negative experiences in a healthy way, while others just hold on and can't seem to move forward in life. I suspect what I'm seeing in women in their 30s is who were the ones who could handle life's curveballs in a healthy way, and who is likely to just hold on to stuff and hasn't yet learned to process it appropriately. So if you dated a random woman in her 20s and got into a long-term relationship, if she was already the kind of woman who can't process the bad stuff, then she's going to be a nightmare to date once things go wrong. And things always go wrong in relationships from time to time. This seems to be a societal issue where we don't put enough pressure on people to deal with their baggage before jumping into new relationships. The last thing that I noticed is the pressure to find a long-term relationship makes the act of dating a lot less fun. This has really hit home for me too. As a man, I don't have a body clock in the same way women do. When women get into their 30s and realize they need to start finding something long-term, they start to approach dating very differently. When I go on dates, it often feels like I'm being screened for my viability for a long-term potential. So while they're friendly and sociable, we aren't just two people meeting to have fun and see if we click. We're two people meeting with one of them who is trying to tick off a series of boxes. Now, this isn't logistically problematic. I suspect I probably tick a lot of the right boxes for plenty of women. But it makes dates just feel kinda blah. The most fun thing to happen on a date is when you both just have fun. You're present. There's no pretext. You're both just going with the flow. That's when you can have these moments of spark and excitement and you get all these good endorphins. An extension of this is that many women seem to have a lot more personal rules they're following to avoid the pains of the past. Certainly women in their 20s sometimes have dating rules too, but nothing compared to women in their 30s. They have rules around where you should have a second date, rules about when it's okay to kiss a guy, rules about when you should sleep with a guy, rules around how much to share about yourself and when, and so on and so forth. These further pull women out of being present and just having fun and going with the flow. I can certainly understand why women would want to date this way, but it's unattractive and feels contrived. It acts as a barrier to getting excited about a person. Again, I don't want to pretend like the average man over 30 is necessarily any better, because I certainly hear colourful dating stories from female friends about them. But I've found myself wondering if I shouldn't start broadening my search to include a younger age demographic. Sure, there are some amazing women in their 30s out there, but they are much harder to find, it would appear, especially if I'm just focusing on online dating. I think it says a lot about our society at present that people are forgetting to have fun. We're forgetting that dating isn't a mission. We're forgetting that people will hurt us, but we decide how we move on from it. That we're trying so hard not to be hurt again that we will sacrifice actual human connection. From my very core, I believe women in their 30s should be able to overall offer much more to a partner like myself than women in their 20s can. But obviously, life is leaving many of us worse off in our 30s emotionally than we were in our 20s, and there's something a bit sad about that. I wouldn't say that my dating experience has been negative. I've had fun overall. I like meeting new people. I've dated a few very cool women, and I've made some incredible friends. But being in my late 30s and looking for something long-term certainly has a very different vibe to just looking for casual fun. This year, I'm going to really mix up my dating pool. I'm going to try some new things, experiment with different ways of meeting women, and I plan to talk about them here on the channel too. So if you've enjoyed the video, be sure to like it, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment to say hello. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon.